So in today's class, we will be starting with new service IAM. IAM means Identity Access Management. So after this service, you will have an idea like what exactly goes in real time. So when you join a company, how you will be getting that user credentials. So in how you will be logging into this AWS account. Of course, you will be working in the same console, but not as a root user. So have you seen IAM anywhere till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, on the login page.
Right. While logging in page, all these days we are logging in as root user.
Due
But
to the
yes, but in real time you will never log in as root user. Even though you are a solution architect, whether you are 10 years experience candidate, you will be logging in as IAM user only. Only the root user's account will be created and registered on some maybe the CTO or the CEO of that company name on their personal email ID. Rest all are IAM users only. So as part of this IAM, there are things which we are going to discuss related to users, group, policies, roles. So these are mainly important. So in today's class, let's focus on these three things because for explaining your roles, we need to discuss CLI. So in coming classes, we will discuss first roles and then CLI one by one. But in today's class, let's focus completely on users, groups, and policies. What do you mean by policy?
Permissions.
Policies means nothing but
permission.
permission. Permission. Fine. So let's begin with users. So let's begin with users. So what users means same. I am user. So like whenever you join any company, so someone will be creating you this AWS account and they will be sharing you that link URL how to log in, your username and your password. So that means you have got your IAM login credentials. So like that. So let's take an example of how many users will be there in a project. I mean, different technologies who are working on different technologies. Developers, testers, admins, database guys, networking people, cloud engineers, DevOps engineers. For everyone, you have to create a account. Whether they use the AWS console or not, that is different thing. But officially, if anyone is a part of the project, definitely everyone needs to have an IAM account, IAM user, for so that they can log in whenever they want and see what is going on in their infrastructure, how many machines are running, all those things. Okay. So next comes the question. So these users, like as I said, testers, admin, database, all these people you will be using. Next, why you create groups? What is the purpose of creating groups?
A set of roles or user we can define for sharing.
To give the same permission to the multiple people.
Alright. So you see, whenever anyone joins in the company and in your project, whenever anyone leaves the project, for that, every time you can't keep on adding permissions to a new user, every time you can't keep on removing and deleting the user. There should be a common space where you simply add the new user to the group and simply you will remove the user from the group so that all the permissions attached to that particular group will also, I mean, for that person, which actually, what we say, let's say, we have created group developer, tester, and DevOps, and then coding. So, how many developers are there in your project? All the users you will add to a group called developer. All the testers you will add to a group called testers. All the DevOps means add to a DevOps. All the cloud means you will be adding to a group called cloud. So, what is the advantage of this? You are giving the permissions to that at group level. So you added some set of permissions to group level at the group level. So whenever any new person, any developer join the company, simply you will add the user. First you will create the user and you will add that user to the development group. So what happens automatically, the user will get all the permissions which are attached to the group. So let's say for this group you have attached 10 permissions. Like that 10 developers have joined. If you did not have any group, you have to manually attach 10 permissions to 10 people. So just imagine how much manual effort is required, and there might be some manual mistakes also. Because for each person you have to attach 10 permissions, like that there are 10 persons. Whereas if you are having a group, already for this group you have attached the 10 permissions. Simply you will add the users to the group. So automatically the users whom you have added to the group also gets the permission. Each user will get the 10 permission. So which one is easy? Adding each permission manually to 10 users or simply adding users to the group?
To the group. Use it to the
To
group.
the group. So the purpose of group is just to make the life of admin easy. Being a cloud engineer, to manage things whenever anyone joins the company, when if anyone you want to assign any permission to a set of people like 10 people at a time, instead of assigning them manually one by one, just create a group, give the permission to the group, and then add the members to the group. That is how you do smart work. Okay. You can do both ways. You can do hard work as well as smart work. What is hard work? Attaching manually all the permissions you need, that is the hard work. Smart work is create a group, give permission to the group, and then add the users who want those set of permissions into the group. That is the use case of group. And next, finally, the important one is policies or permissions. Okay, let me write here policies or permissions. Next, first of all, how many types of permissions are there?
So read and write.
Right. Full means both. Read means only read. Write means only write. Whereas full means both read and write. Can do anything. Next comes the question. How can you decide which type of permission you need to give which user? Yes. Next one. Which type of so you are a cloud engineer. Someone's let's say some 5 people join. 2 developers, 2 testers, 1 DevOps engineer join. So what permission you will give for which services? Which type of permission you will give? It should be safe side. Let's say. Uh, Suddenly, after 2 days, one developer has deleted, terminated a production machine. The client will scold whom? Who will be blamed? The developer or you?
Admin.
Definitely as
Both
admin,
were
cloud engineer. Who has given him permission? You have given the permission. You are a cloud engineer and you have, being the cloud admin, you have given him the permission. So definitely you will be blamed for it. Yeah, now answer the question. How we will decide what permissions you will give and which type of permissions you will give?
So depends upon the role of that.
depends on
We can give like tester. We can give only like read access, and developer we can give like write access. So depends upon their roles.
Roles as well as main thing is experience. Even though let's say there is a developer of 10 years experience, maybe they don't know how to do in the cloud. So simply give them full access. They don't know, maybe by mistake they might delete any load balancer, they might delete any S3 bucket, they might delete any EC2 instance which is running as a production environment. So first, being a cloud admin, what you need to do is you will get an email. You will get an email from the team or HR saying that this is a new person joining in your project. So on so on. So once the person joins in the project, so definitely you will get that request of create an IAM account for that particular person. So you need to have a conversation, at least a conversation of 5 to 10 minutes, like, okay, what was your previous job in the company? So have you worked on AWS cloud or not? If worked, on which services you have worked and at which level you have worked. Like if you haven't worked, it's okay, fine, no issues, no questions. No, did not work means no, no problem. But work means till what level you have worked, on what services you have worked, at which level you have worked. You have to get information of all those things so that you will have an idea. Okay, so that you will have an idea what type of permissions you can give for such a person, right? But basically, on a high level, basically, since you can't believe the person because you're talking to a person for the first time, maybe out of curiosity you ask, but they might say, it's okay, maybe they have worked only on S3, how to create a bucket. Maybe they don't know other options, they don't know how to terminate EC2, they just see how to launch an EC2. So you can't take risk by giving full permission to EC2 level, S3 level, even though they said they have worked on completely. On a general note, for anyone you will start with, for any person who joins in a company, you will start with read-only permission. That means for all services. They can list out, read all the options, all the services, let's say 100 EC2 instances are running. They can see them, but they can't stop it, they can't terminate it. Similarly, how many S3 buckets are, what are the properties, what are the permissions of each bucket, everything they can see. But they cannot alter the permission. That is called read-only permission. Later of some days, once you come to know, okay, this person knows some options, that's why he or she is asking me for additional options. So once they start working, definitely they can't. When they're trying to read something, they won't get permission. They will get permission error. So what they will text you in Skype or whatever you're using in the project, they'll text you, Raymond, I am unable to edit the instance type. I want to change the instance type, or maybe I want to apply some lifecycle rule on the S3 bucket. I am not getting permission. So when one person is asking you about one particular option confidently that he or she cannot do, so you can assume that okay, they have knowledge on the thing, that's why they are confidently asking that they want that permission to do such particular task. In that scenario, you can assign a permission exclusively for that person. Attach a permission to that person exclusive user. So basically, yes, as I said, whenever any new person joins, you will start with the read-only project as a basic thing. So these are the three things like what are users, groups, and permissions. And again, in permissions, what types of permissions are there? Which type of permissions you would start with for a new user? Slowly, you will increase the level of access, level of permissions to the user, seeing the knowledge expertise in that particular field. So let's see some theory in this slide. Of course, you'll get the PDF document. So you see, IAM allows you to manage. What do you mean manage? Manage means create, update, delete. These all falls under management. So this IAM service allows you to manage whom users, group, and their level of access. What do you mean by level of access? Nothing but
Permissions.
permission. Level of access is nothing but permission. So IAM allows you to give the manage users, groups, and the policies to the AWS services. So I said already, what it is in the bucket policy. So what is a bucket policy? It is a permission at S3 service level. So what are you gaining even at IAM also? You are managing users, groups, and their permission to access the services. I'm just giving an example. In buckets, we have in the recent class we have discussed about the permissions of S3 bucket and bucket policy. What did we discuss? Even from IAM also we can take care of it. So now that you know the concept of IAM, you can manage the permission for any services. That has been proven that yes, the bucket policy can also be taken care not only by writing the code, the JSON script, but also through the IAM, which is a GUI option, graphical user option, which is much easier compared to JSON. So what does this IAM gives you? So what are the different options at IAM level? centralized control of your AWS account. So you see, yes, every day you are practicing. So in the right top corner of your, basically, once you log in as centralized control of your AWS account. So everyone in real time, everyone will be working on only one AWS account only. Whether your colleagues are from US, whether they are working from Australia, whether you are from India, others are from Africa, that doesn't matter. Everyone will log into the same AWS account. Everyone is having accounts, all the resources are launched on one AWS account. That is what they are saying, centralized control of your AWS account. Next, shared access to your AWS account. So being a cloud engineer, let's say you have been recruited as a cloud engineer. So your technical interviews have been and your HR interviews have been cleared. So they have certified. They are believing in you. Yes, this person knows how to operate this cloud AWS cloud console. So some of the maybe senior cloud architect from client side or maybe at your location only, they will be creating an IAM account and they will be sharing you with that URL, that username and that password. So once you log into your account, you see guys, by default any user will have, whenever you create a new IAM user, by default any user will have no permission. Any IAM user won't have any permissions at all. We have to any that particular who is the person who is assigning you, who have created your account, they will be assigning you permission as I said, as per your expertise, as per your knowledge. So being a cloud admin, you will be having all the permissions. Yes, you will be having admin. Admin permissions means something like full permission. Like what you call in Windows, which user have full permission? Administrator. Similarly in Linux, who is the user which have full permission? Root. Similarly here
Root user.
root user. Similarly what we call in real time, a person who is having all the permissions we call them as administrator. So here whether the cloud admin or senior architect, whoever is having the admin permission, that means full permission, they will be assigning you a little permissions, maybe for some full permissions, maybe for some services read permissions, maybe for some services write permissions. Because you are also a new person, even though you are cloud engineer, they can't believe you in the first or second day. Slowly, first they will start for some with write, others full, others read like that. And then eventually, once you have proven your skill that you are working fine and you have knowledge really complete in all the services, then they will also slowly transfer you to the admin role. So granular permission. Granular permission means the same thing. Read only, write only, full. These are called granular. Granular means very minute. Because you see granular, when I say granular guys, let me explain simply, then you'll understand between what is only read, only write. Let's say let's say I have an S3 bucket. Okay. Now we'll discuss about types of permissions. Since they have the point is related to what is the point related to granular, yeah, granular permission. Let's talk about permission first. So what do I mean by read? Okay, this is my AWS account. There are two buckets in my AWS account. So for a person I have given read access to it. So what does that mean? That particular person, when he enters into the AWS account, he can see all how he can see number of buckets, he can see all the permissions and options of the different buckets, but can he or she delete or edit or rename the objects, anything such type of thing? When you say
No.
no, that is not possible. Okay. That is a read. Again in read what is the granular permission? I have explained you one option. I have explained you what is read. Now you
You
say me
can
what
read
is that?
only one bucket or you
Yeah,
can read
right,
one.
right, 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 correct. Granular means again minute. Already we have discussed a read permission. What is the granular level permission at read permission means? So I want that particular person, he or she can read permissions, the information of any only one bucket maybe, not all the buckets. So definitely it's a granular or not compared to only read. Here you have said okay the person can read information, can list out the options everything only for one bucket, not all the buckets in your AWS account. That is called granular level permission. So you can apply that granular level permissions again it not only read but also write but also full. Now apply the same concept. Whatever the granular level concept I have explained you, the same concept applies for write also. Yes, I have given a person full permission, but full permission for only one bucket. That means that particular person can do anything only for this bucket, not for another bucket. That is called granular level permission. Okay? Don't think granular means read is a granular, write is a granular. Again, read and write are normal permissions. Read permission, write permission, full permission are normal permissions. What is the granular level permissions at each level means? This one. Again, you have to specify, mention which particular resource. You have 100 S3 buckets, but and you have given a full access to S3 means yes, that person can do anything for all 100 buckets. But you don't want that particular person to have full access on production S3 buckets. So what you will do, you will give only read access and write access for 50 buckets, and remaining 50 buckets you do never give the option to read, write or full option, which are the production buckets. So that is called granular level permission. Next, identity federation. So identity federation is easy. It's a common credentials which are given to you, which are shared with you once you join in any company. So let's say once you join in the company, being a cloud engineer, what they'll give you is different credentials related to Git, Skype, email, Slack, some communication channels, some email channels, some Yammer kind of thing will be there, Microsoft Outlook related. So they will give you some 4 5 accounts related. For all the accounts, you will be having same username and same password, which is managed centrally with the help of identity federation. So depending upon the Active Directory, this Windows we call Active Directory. In Linux, how do you manage centralize the user with the help of LDAP? LDAP is a concept where you can centrally manage the users and their credentials, everything with the help of LDAP. Whereas in Windows we call Active Directory. Same issue. So what are the you can log in. I mean you can save the credentials of your Facebook, LinkedIn. You can map it with your personal email ID also with the help of this identity federation. Such type of option is also there in your IAM. So from IAM you can map it the same credentials to access another Git of your same account for Skype, all these things. But in real time we don't use the same thing. Why? Because even though if one account gets compromised, obviously that means the other people got to know your username and password. If you keep the same for other accounts also, that's why in real time we don't use same username and password for all the accounts. Let's say you have Git, Skype, your AWS cloud, and what else? That Slack things for communication, all these things you will have different username and different password, so that even though if one account is compromised, it doesn't affect other things. But since we have to know what are the features and what are the different options available at IAM level, we are discussing all this functionalities. That doesn't mean we use all. Only some we will be using. Next is multi-factor authentication. Have you heard anyone who are working or using this? Anyone who is already working?
Yes.
So what is the meaning of that multi-factor authentication?
Uh, there is multi-factor authentication. I mean, in our organization, we use for authentication, like while accessing some sites and some VPN kind things.
Yeah, you see, multi-factor authentication is it's a common secured thing. It is not, you cannot say only at some level authentication. The authentication can be at website level, that can be at user account logging level, anything. Multi-factor authentication means it's a multiple layer. You are getting a secure at another layer with the help of multi-factor, and you are authenticating. That means you are proving yourself that you are the rightful owner. So here also, what is the first layer of security for logging into your account? Username password. Username and password. Okay. So this is the first layer of security. Simply you can't rely on only one layer of security. Let's say maybe sometimes you have used someone's computer for logging in, and the password has been saved automatically in the browser. So they can do anything. Simply they will go and terminate any EC2 production machine. Whom will they blame? Later whom will be blamed? Obviously you only, because that particular thing happened from your IAM account, not from other person's IAM account. So you cannot take that risk of even though your password is compromised, someone should be able to immediately access your account. The second layer of security comes as multi-factor authentication. So what is this multi-factor authentication mean? You see, you need to enter an OTP. Even after you enter your username and password, it will ask you for a OTP which will be changing for every 30 seconds. And where this will be generated? You need to download an app. Yes, you need to download some apps, right, from Google Play Store or from your Apple iStore, Apple Store. You need to download one app. There are many apps. You can Google Authenticator, or like a Gojrak or Google Authenticator app. Right, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy, Google Authenticator, anything you can download. Not only one thing, but the ultimate purpose of that app is in that app only. That also in your mobile only, it will generate that random IP, not IP, OTP. That OTP you have to enter. Then only you can log into your account. So now observe carefully guys. In this scenario, even though if any person got to know your username and password, can they log into your account? No. Why? Because yes, this step will be passed. But what is the next step? They will be asked then OTP. And where is that OTP? Only in your mobile app. Don't think in their mobile app also if they can install app, the OTP, that OTP is it. You have to map that MFA account to your account. Then only that OTP is related to your account. So don't think randomly you can give any OTP. Whatever the whatever the multi-factor authentication account you have mapped to your account, in which mobile, only in that mobile OTP you need to enter. Then only it will be authenticated. So this way, even though your password is compromised, the second step, the person fails to log into your account without that OTP. So actually, it's a mandatory thing. Don't think it's optional thing. Once you join the company, tomorrow you become a cloud engineer. Definitely, it's a compulsory task for you. That way. If they will clearly, client will clearly say you, whenever anyone joins in the company, joins in the project, make sure MFA is enabled for this. It's a compulsory thing. Okay? So I will show you how this looks like the authenticator. How will you download? You can download from Play Store or Apple Store. So it looks like something like this app. Okay, somehow we log into AWS console now. I will show you practically. And the last one, so what you can do with the help of IAM, allows you to set up own password rotation policy. So what do you mean by own password rotation policy? Changing your
Changing of the
password.
password requirements once in your compliance.
So you will define, being a cloud engineer, you will define that whenever users are changing password, whenever users are creating password, that password should be strong enough. Something minimum 7 characters, maximum 10 characters. Combination should be capital letters, special characters, numeric, etc. And you should not use your last 3 passwords. And you should change your password for every 1 month. This all together we call it as password rotation policy. So being a cloud engineer, you can Force. You can force your users to get adapted to this type of best practices. Okay, or else if you leave the password, they will be using from starting date to joining date same password. So we already discussed these are the different important terminology when it comes to IAM. Users, groups, and permissions. Roles later we'll discuss. Leave it in next class. In today's class, we focus on these things. Users means the people who are working in your project, your colleagues that can be developers, testers, or any other people. Groups means a collection of users under one set of permissions. This is important. Group means everyone, no collection of users. But why we are grouping them, that is important, so that we can assign a set of common permissions. Policies means permission. A document that defines the one or more permissions. That is called policy. Okay. So what we will do now, we will start with practical so that you will have a clear idea. So what you will be, how you will be getting a credentials once you join in the company, we will be discussing. So what I will do first, let me create a one user called Ram. Another user I will create called sorry. Okay. And then I create a group called EC2 group, and then I will create another group called S3 group. So now observe carefully, I am attaching permissions. I am attaching permissions to group. So what is the permission I have attached to S3 group? I have attached the permission called S3 full access. Similarly, what is the permission I have attached to EC2 group? EC2 full access. So what is in this? Can you attach permissions only to group, or can you attach to individual persons also, users also?
Individual purposes.
Yes, you can attach permissions are a permissions. Permissions is a different thing. You can attach permissions to users or groups. Anything is possible. So don't think permissions can be attached only to a group. Users also will have their own permissions irrespective of the group, right? So let's say again one permission I have individual attached to SAI something a database permission RDS relational database full access. Okay. So how many steps we have done now till now? Created users one step, created group second step, third step is assigning them respective permission. Total we have done 3 steps. Okay. And later what I did, I have placed the user, I have placed this RAM user, whatever the RAM user I have created, I have attached RAM to mode. This RAM I have attached, I have added, not attached, you can say you have added the user called RAM into EC2 group. Fine. Similarly, you have added a username called Sai into the S3 group. Now listen carefully and answer my question, guys. What is the permissions this user RAM is having now? Now this moment.
Access to EC2 group.
EC2 full access. Right? So RAM, the person called RAM is having complete access to EC2 full access. EC2 full access. Right? How about Sai user?
Sai is having the S3 group access as well as S3 database access also.
Not S3 database. S3 is a different service. RDS is a different service. Of course.
He is having other RDS access also.
Right. So the person Sai is having full access for two services. S3 full access, whereas RDS also full access. Okay. Right. So because in some students get confused. Once I attach to the group, what students will think this is gone. This is not gone, guys. Why? Because you have attached individually to the user. That will be always there. What you have done is simply added that user to the group. So now, along with the permission, whatever that user is having, apart from that extra, he will get a permission from the group. Whatever the group you have added that person, what is the permission of that group, that also will be attached to the person. So here Sai is getting S3 full access from where? Directly or from the group? From the group. So if you remove Sai from again from the group, what will happen? Only Sai user will have what is RDS, not this. Only RDS full access. If you remove Sai from the group, Sai will have only RDS full access. Why? Because Sai got S3 full access from group. When you have removed from the group, how can you get permission? The permission also will be gone automatically. Right? Any doubt? Because this is the basic thing. No. It's a easy one. Nothing to get confused. It's a simple logic. Fine. So whatever you have done, let's first let me log into console and just have a look of how this IAM console. Let's search IAM. Once the console, once the page has opened, just go through that how it looks and say me what change, anything you have observed something different compared to EC2, S3, these things. Some general things.
It's it's global.
Right. Good. Good. So that means IAM is not regional specific. Why it's not regional specific? You know. What did we discuss? IAM is a centralized place. If let's say something is centralized. Centralized means everyone. So what is UNICEF? You have an organization called UNICEF, and this. So is UNICEF exclusive only to one country or whole across the globe for all the countries? If some information is ruled out from that particular organization, which are global organizations, that will be followed by all the countries across the globe. Right? Similarly, here also, as I said, even though you have your EC2 machines in Mumbai region, Singapore region, US region, that doesn't matter. All the users will be in a one place, one is common place that is not specific to region. In a one place, all you are maintaining all the users, the groups and their permissions, everything from one place only. That's why it's a global service. What is other global service we discussed till now?
Three.
S3, right. So till now we have discussed two services which falls under global, S3 as well as IAM. Moving further, we will discuss one more service that will come later. It's not compulsory to remember, but if you remember, you see that will be a good. It gives a good impression. Well, in the interview process or something. Okay. So first, what I want to show you here, you can see yes, these are all synonyms. Users is users, groups are groups, roles are roles, permissions is permissions. This. So what did I say? So once you log into account, so let's say you want to create a multi-factor authentication for your root user. Since I have logged in as root user, I'm creating for my account, only myself I'm creating MFA, multi-factor authentication. So here you can see enable MFA to improve the security for this account. So let me show you how this works. How can you enable? So click on this, activate MFA, virtual MFA device. Okay, select the first option, virtual MFA device. Continue. Click this option, show QR code. Okay, so that means what? Don't scan with Paytm. Okay, install that app. This one I said, right? Google Authenticator or Authy or Microsoft Authenticator in your mobile from Google Play Store if you are having Apple phone, Apple Store. And once you open that app, here there will be this option. Where is it? This single video. Yeah. See, once you open the app, initially everything will be empty, guys. Nothing will be there. It will be completely empty like this. you need to click this option, which is plus. So the moment you click plus in your mobile app, it will ask you that screen will come, scan QR code option will come. So with that, you scan your this one, this QR code. So the moment you scan QR code, automatically it will detect and it will generate a OTP. That how you see the 6-digit OTP will be there, and what is the validity of OTP? Every 30 seconds it will keep on changing. So let's say the moment you scan the QR code, some OTP generated. So here enter the OTP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait for 30 seconds or till it go, and again it will generate one more OTP. Enter that also, something 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Once you have entered these two digits, these two OTPs correctly, automatically this option will activate it. SN MFA, that's it. Once you click SN MFA, that means your your account has been set up with the MFA. Like that is it. So of course, now if I click, it will say wrong. Why? Because I have given wrong value. But if you give correct values, it will say okay. Now your account has been secured with MFA. That's it. So this is how you SNM. Once you SNMFA, what will happen again? If you want to log in, let's say today you have practice. Tomorrow again when you start taking login, after giving username and password, it will ask for that OTP. So every time you have to enter that OTP whenever you want to log into your account. So you have to open the tab. Whatever the OTP is visible for you in the app, you need to enter that. So now what we will do? Let's create the user class. Okay. First, now let's do the practical. So my first step is I need to create users. Okay. Let me create users. Run another user is Sai. So which type of permissions we are talking about? Now RAM user and Sai user. How they want to access the AWS? So, through CLI or console?
Console.
Console. Currently console. In coming classes we will talk about CLI. So forget about CLI for now. For now just talk about console only. So here that's why you see two options. What are the two options? Programmatic means CLI. Console means nothing but your GUI. Okay. So forget about CLI for now. So just only remember now the another name for CLI is programmatic access. Another name for GUI is console access. Okay. So don't get confused. So we want to these users to have console access. So just click console. Okay. Next. So do you want to auto generate password by the AWS for the user, or do you want to give any custom password for the user? It's okay. Let AWS generate.
Sir, I have
Let
one doubt.
mm,
Any guidelines for the creation of the users? The first letter should be small letter or cap letter. Any guidelines are there?
nothing like that.
Nothing. Okay.
You
Thank you.
can give like this. Yes, and the password it's okay. Let AWS generate the password somehow. You will give the option to the user that users must create a new password at the next training. Have you get this type of or not? Whenever you create sometimes Gmail account, some Facebook account, initially they will give you one
Yes.
password. They will ask you in the first whenever you sign in the first time with this password, change your password. So that no other person will know your password except you. And then next permission. So what? It's okay. Leave it. Even after creating users, also you can give permission. If you want to attach now only, you can use this option. But even after creating also, you can leave. So leave it for now. Here we're just focused on creating users. Let it create users. So here don't do mistake. In this step, definitely you need to download this file. Why? Because in this file only your URL, your username, your password is present. If you forget to download this, that's it. Again you have to do the process and create one more time. Because this is the last time you will be seeing this. Again you can't see this one. See here the warning is given. something password, you can, if you want, you can see the password. See? This is the password generated by AWS. This all details is there inside this file. Let me download and show you so that you will understand why I said it is compulsory. If you forget, it will happen. So username, password, and the URL. That's why I said this is a compulsory file. So now what you will do simply, for RAM user, you will save, being a cloud admin, you will send these details through email or step, whatever it is, you will send to RAM. Okay, this is your username, this is your password. Log into AWS with the help of this URL. That much is. So let it be. Now what is the next thing we thought of doing after creating users? We need to create group. And next, okay. So let's create group. So where is group? So go to user group. So currently we don't have any group. Let's start creating group. Create group. So what is the group? One is EC2 group. Fine. And what we thought in EC2 group, if you want, you can add here only. Now what you can add, or after creating also you can add. No issues. Okay. What I will do for one user, one group, while creating one group, I will show while creating group only how you can add user. Another group, after creating group, I will show you how to add. Okay. So EC2 group, which user we want to add? RAM user. Okay, let's add RAM user. See here below it is giving you option add users to the group. That's why I said it's an optional one. If you want only you can add. It is not compulsory. Since in our example somehow we want to add. Okay, let's add RAM user. Okay. And then create group. Fine. See. So what have we done? You have created a group and you have attached in one user. But have you defined any permission to the group? Still? No. It's okay, let it be. It's okay.
No.
So how can you attach a permission to the group? Go to the group. See permissions. Go to the permissions tab. See, there is no permissions for this group. Just don't get confused. These permissions for whom are we are talking about, group or RAM user?
RAM user. Sorry, EC2.
Here, whenever you get such type of confusion, just see top. What is happening? Whatever you see here, blind rule is the permission belong to that one. I will show later. I will show individual permissions also. Somehow we have to give individual permission for SAI user. So that also we'll see. That's why if you observe carefully the diagram, it's a combination of different options. Observe carefully. Creating group, adding a user to the group, assigning permission to a group, as well as assigning permission to individual user. I have covered all the options. So now what you will do, simply add permissions, attach policies. So what is the type of policy we want to add it to the EC2 group? You can EC2 full access. So search here EC2 full. See, it came or not? You don't need to type everything else. I have just, you see, this is my search term EC2F and I press enter. So automatically policy Amazon EC2 full access. Is this only we want to attach or not to the group? Yes, Amazon EC2 full access and then add permission. So now you see. So what is the permissions attached to this group, EC2 group? EC2 full access. If you want, you can cross check. Go back to the groups again. Now see whether that red color is gone. See, previously what is there under permissions? Not defined. Some red color is there. So now this part is done successfully or not? This side part completely. We have created a group. We have added RAM user to this group. We have given permission to this group, EC2 full access. So completely done or not? This left side.
Yes.
It's done. Now let's come to right side. Create a group. S3 group. Now I am not adding here on. I will show you after creating how you can add. Create. Simply I have created group. I did not give any permission. I did not add any user. You can see here only. No users, no permissions different. You know, while creating group also you can add users. While creating group also you can give permissions. After creating group also you can add users. You can add permissions. So no issues. So now go inside the group. How can you add users? Simply the first step only you can see the option. Add users. So which user you want to add? S3 group? Side user. So let's add side. Done. Next, what is the next thing? We need to give permission to the group.
The group permission.
Yes. So what is the group? What is the type of permission we want to give to S3 group?
S3 full access.
S3 full access. Same. So go here S3 search. Let's see. Just simple. Just enter first 3 letters. S3 full access, something like that. Automatically it will show. You know how to attach policies. Just now we have seen. So simply click this one. Add permissions. So come back to dashboard now. So see here, earlier it was 0, 0, now 2 users, 2 groups. So what have we done everything in that diagram or we missed anything?
User level permissions.
RDS is not
Right,
accessed.
right. We have to give a user level permission. So go to user. Which user? Sai user. Go to Sai user. Okay. So currently what is the permission Sai is having? Now you can see where am I? Now you are in Sai user. So what is the permissions currently Sai is having?
S3 group access.
S3 full access, yes, S3 full access. But from where he got? Sai user got from where? Directly or from the group?
From group.
See, clearly it is mentioned. So, guys, IAM is a very simple service. You don't need to get confused. Everything will be in front of your eyes only. Yes, Sai is having S3 full access, but where he got? From the group. And what are the permissions attached directly to the user? As of now, something. IAM user change password. So if you think carefully, you will only can understand how this got attached automatically, even though you did not attach. What can be the reason AWS attached this?
Well, creation of a user.
Change the password.
Right. We
Are
have
you only having the access of creating password and changing the password?
right. Why? Because while creating account, what is the first thing they said? While creating, users should create their own password after the first login. So how can user create the password if they don't have permission? So AWS know that if the user has to change his password on his own, this particular permission has to be added to the user. That's why automatically AWS only added directly to the user. Fine. So now we have to add one permission. What is another permission we thought of adding directly?
Yes.
RDS full access. It is already there, guys. You don't need to create a permission. In today's class, let's see how we are utilizing already existing policies. In coming classes, I will show you how to create policies as per your requirement. Okay. So add existing policies directly. And you know how to search. Same. RDS full access. See? Amazon RDS full access. Next to be add permission. So now you see, guys, direct permission attached directly to the user, and one permission came from group. So whatever I have drawn in the diagram, everything we have done or not practically?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let's check the practicality. Okay. Now let's say some of your RAM users, some of your Sai users. So how will you access? Once you join in the company, how will you get intimation that this is your username, this is your password? So as I said, the moment you join in the company, once
Yes,
the first day, they will be sharing you something like this Excel sheet. Okay. So simply copy this, that URL. I am opening incognito because I can't open another AWS account in the same tab. And then paste that URL in the browser. You see, this is this something different or not? Like every day, is this same page or different page every day?
Different
a
HP.
bit different. You see, if you want to go to same page, you simply press this one, sign in root user. Then it will ask for your email ID. But what did I say? Whenever you join the company, you are not a root user. You are one of the IAM user, and this account ID is specific to that particular account. Since you don't know what is this account ID, all these things, that's why if you observe carefully, whatever the URL you have copied, already in the URL only that is present, that account ID, if you observe carefully, see. So straight away it has taken you redirected to that particular page. So now the only thing you need to add is, enter is username and password. So let's log into RAM user and check. So the username is RAM and password is I pasted it and sign. Is this expected or not?
Yes, yes.
This is expected. Okay, so enter the old password and you can create any new password, whatever you. Here I did not give any password settings, guys. I will show you that password settings. Yeah, you see, password does not come from account policy. Maybe I did not give some old capital letters, small letters.
Sir, how can I see that all password?
Yeah, which password?
Now we showing, that is showing.
Of
The
course,
glitching now.
passwords won't be shown. You have to remember what you're typing.
Okay.
Same like Gmail, how you create passwords, same like that only. Even while adding your someone net banking, it will ask you to enter account number 2 times. First time you can see the number, second time you can't see the number, right? So observe carefully guys now. So now you are in the same AWS account. This is also Raven AWS account only. But with who, which user you have logged into Raven's account? As a RAM user. And you are in Ohio region. By default, whenever you create any account, it will be logged into Ohio region. You know how to change it. You can go to Mumbai. Yes. So now let's cross check guys. What is the permission RAM is having now? RAM is having only EC2 full permission.
EC2.
Okay. So let's go to EC2. Okay, see, you are seeing these numbers means you are seeing these numbers, everything means automatically you can understand you are having full permissions. Why? Because if you don't, if RAM user is not having EC2 permissions, these numbers also not will be visible guys. I will show you that when I log in as Sai user, you will show clearly. You can see clearly because Sai is not having EC2 permissions, only S3 permission. When you log in as S3, here you can't see numbers also, it will show error, all these things. Since RAM user is having EC2 permissions, you can see every information related to EC2, the 0 instances, security groups too, like this. Now what we'll do, let's try to access
S3.
S3 and see what will happen. What do you think guys? Will error will come or not?
Error will come.
Error will come. Yes. Why? Because we have logged in as RAM user and RAM don't have permissions to S3. You got or not error?
Yes.
What is it? You don't have, you can't even see the buckets also, is it? That much powerful IAM is. Forget about creating, deleting existing, can't even see also what is there. That much powerful is IAM permissions. Now what we'll do, let's log out and we'll log in as Sai user and check what will happen. Same thing as expected, old password, new password. Okay, now what we'll do, first let's okay, you see now we have logged in as Sai at the rate of your account ID. This account belongs to mine guys, it's Raven's account. Don't think it is Sai. Sai is just an IAM user. You know how to change any. Let's go to Mumbai. Anyway, whatever your convenient way. So what is the permission I is having?
S3 full bucket.
S3 full access. S3 full access. So okay. So let's go to S3 and check. So now error should come or not like that, like how it was shown to
No,
Ram.
no errors.
It should not come. Let's see. See, no error. There is already one bucket in my account, so it is showing already. Why? Because actually we only created, right? Oh no, actually this one I have created for explaining other concept. Further batch created. So now let's check EC2. What do you think, guys? Will error come or not? No. Permission. So what did I say? You can't even see the number also if you don't have permission. So obviously this is expected because I user don't have a EC2 full permissions. So how can
But security group it's showing 2, right?
yeah, it's okay. Security group is a common thing. It's not related only exclusive to EC2 because the same security group you can use for RDS also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now how can you make sure if I want to? So being a cloud engineer, if someone asks you, I don't want this error, this should be removed. What you have to do now?
You have to add EC2.
Right. You need to give EC2 permission to the SAI. You know or not how to give permission? No.
Yes.
Yes. Go to SAI. Add permissions. You can attach directly. Add existing policies. Search EC2 full access. Next to you. Fine. So don't expect it will show immediately. You have to go and refresh it. Okay. Refresh. Gone or not? So it worked or not? Whatever you have done just now. That setting. The error has gone now. Now user is able to access all the EC2 also. That's why this all errors gone, API error, all this. So you see this way, creating users, assigning them permissions, assigning the permissions directly to the user from the group. These are all different scenarios. I forgot to show you where we mentioned this password settings. Here it will be there somewhere. The password policy. This password. Yeah, rotate credentials. Change your own passwords and access regular and make sure the users in account also do as well as. So rotate credentials. See, click here to change the password, name or email address of your AWS account. I think this is what changing password. I myself was logged out. Yeah, you have to go to account settings. Let's see. Yeah, you see here. This is the password. What did I say? Being a cloud engineer, you can define the password person. You will force your users, your IAM users, to follow the same practice, so that they can't give simple only small letters, only numbers like that. So change password policy. You can change it. See? What are the characters defined? Uppercase letter, lowercase letter, at least one number, non-alphanumeric. Enable password expiration. After 1 month, it should expire automatically. And prevent password reuse. You cannot use more than last three passwords. You cannot use all these things. And minimum 8 characters or 10 characters. Everything you can set it up and save the changes. So that whenever I have created new password, right? When the first time I have signed in. So you have to follow these rules. Then only the new password will be created. This is at account settings level. So whatever you change here, whatever you have changed here, it will be applicable to all the users, all the IAM users in your account. So once you are done, if you want to delete, you can delete all these things. Go to groups. Delete. I have deleted group, guys. To confirm deletion, enter the number of groups. Actually, they have changed this IAM UI. This is the first time, even today only I have seen. They have changed this UI. They keep on changing something. Only UI will be changed. Don't think options will be same as it. Just maybe one option goes up, one comes down like that. So what do you think now? I have just deleted groups. Do you think the users also got deleted?
No, no.
Go to users. That's it. Users are there as it is. Delete. So this is policies case. We have discussed permissions, right? You see, by default, whenever you create any AWS account, comes with the default permissions. So how many are there total given by AWS? See, you have seen, right? EC2 full access, S3, all are from this only. Part of this 819 permissions, which are already predefined by AWS for different services. Out of them, whatever you want, you picked up something like EC2 full,
You want to enable, sir?
EC2 full access, S3 full access, like that. These things. What you ask? Someone?
They give inbuilt. They given all permissions.
Yeah. By inbuilt,
They have to enable.
Yeah, we have to just enable whatever you want as per your use case. So on top of this, we will be discussing some more concepts in the coming class. Okay. So, but on a high level, this is the basic thing. So now you have an understanding what you can. Now you got a feel of what will happen once you join in the company, how you will get your account, how you have to enter. I mean, how you have to log in, all these things. Yeah, any doubts you can ask me, guys. I'm done with today's class. You can ask me any doubt. Okay. Okay, guys. And have a nice day. We'll meet in tomorrow.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
So one of the AWS account, right? You have created two groups, two users, Sai and Ram. Sai and Ram is working with EC2 or S3 bucket. He changes some bucket policies. He changes some EC2 instances. He's overcome the some limited time is there, right? After
Right.
limited time is there, you have to pay them. In this case, you only pay the bill to AWS team, right?
Yes. Every bill will, no matter which uses which services in the account, all the bill will be paid by the owner only.
Owner only. Okay. Yes.
Okay, guys. Bye.